Welcome to Monster Man.
Yeah.
What do you got for us, pal?
Well, as you know, we recently did an episode where we did the best horror movies of 1987.
I had a blast doing that episode.
Thinking maybe that might be the best year ever for horror movies.
In quite a year.
Best, it was still too heavy.
Too heavy.
So, we asked for suggestions, and 1982 seems to be the majority here, so we're going to go with the majority. Only I can see what's been sealed in a mayonnaise jar and put on Funkin' Waggle's porch until now.
Can we quickly preface this by saying we pulled up a list up on the internet. There's going to be some movies we missed.
Sure.
So, if we missed it, don't get mad at us that we missed it.
Accuracy has never been our
forte.
forte.
Let us know some of the other ones. But
Right.
and we're trying to fit this into a
I will say,
decent amount of time.
our fans are kind.
They are kind.
They have forgiven us any transgressions, and they never really jam us in the cornhole. So it's okay. Nobody's tossed our salad on social media yet. And that's not an invitation to do it now, sons of bitches.
Leave my salad alone.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This is a movie I think you and I are both going to agree is pretty terrible, but it came out in 1982, so we'll just bring it up.
I can't wait for this because this was like our Stranger Things time.
Right. Yes. This was our Stranger Thing. The Thing. So that's a solid. That's the foundation of 1982 right there.
We agree and disagree on a lot of different things, but absolutely we both agree The Thing is like the best horror movie.
We agree. The thing we agree on is The Thing,
That's The Thing.
which was an utter failure when it came out. I remember I saw it in the Scarsdale movie theater with me, my father, my friend, and maybe one guy in a trench coat. There was nobody in that theater, and Dad threw up. So
I remember that story now.
it was a good movie.
I did not see that in theater, but we rented it over and over and over again.
I have it on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray at this point.
You know, I don't own it. I should pick that Blu-ray up.
Are you kidding me?
Because I see it enough. Like, I probably watch it like once a year.
Wow. I just feel like I need to have it if I want to see it.
I need to get the Blu-ray so I can watch like the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Right.
There's got to be like a commentary with like Kurt Russell and John
It's all
Carpenter.
about, I would tell you, the one I have, it's all Wilford Brimley shooting himself up with insulin.
Because of the diabetes.
He's got the diabetes. Here's another one. Produced by Steven Spielberg.
Poltergeist?
Oh, yes! Directed by Tobe Hooper, which people mistakenly say was actually directed by Steven Spielberg. But it wasn't. Poltergeist.
I saw this in the theater. This is another one, kind of like we recently talked about Evil Dead 2. I love this movie, and part of it was because it was kind of funny as well as being scary.
Right. Yeah, there was like tension relieving moments that kind of helped with it.
And the special effects for the time were very like reminiscent of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and were awesome. But one of the things I love about this movie was it took place in a new home.
Yes, it wasn't some old creepy home. Yeah.
You feel like, well, you walk through a condo, you're like, this isn't haunted.
Yeah.
And this place was.
What I remember from this, remember when the little tiny little person lady,
clean.
this house is clean. Well, my friend told me years ago. He says that when his aunt would clean out, she'd go, "This is a clean house." So she would say it all wrong. So now I manage a property. So when I go into these empty apartments and I'm by myself and I look around, I go, "This is a clean house." So that movie gave me that woman's ability to completely say the line wrong, which I still to this day, I say it at least twice a week.
One of the other things I love about this movie was not a big fan of clowns when I was a little kid. And when that kid finally turns on the clown and starts beating the hell out of it, I was in just going, yes, yes, kick its ass.
So you had a clown thing?
I had a clown thing.
Really? I don't know. Clowns never bother me. By the way, James Cameron was in that movie. The ShopRite guy? Oh no, it was Pathmark. He was
Pathmark. You moved the headstones, but not the bodies. You son of a bitch.
Who just recently passed away.
He did. Shout out.
Mid-90s. So, James Cameron, we drink to you.
Oh, Jesus.
Zelda Rubinstein, she was the little person.
Joe Beth Williams, who is a smoke show in that movie.
Heather O'Rourke passed away. Some intestinal thing. Dominique Dunn murdered.
Really?
She was murdered. That's all the curse of the Poltergeist movie thing that goes on there. But James Cameron was not cursed. He lived for another 40-something years. Okay. I'd like anthology movies.
They're okay.
Can you think of like a big anthology movie?
I'm feeling Creepshow.
That is it.
Wow, that was 82.
That was 1982.
Now, is that the one with Leslie Nielsen?
Yes.
Are already dead. Is that what they're
saying?
saying?
Wait. That's the one. Well, when you said Leslie Nielsen, I'm thinking Ted Danson. Ted Danson, where he's buried up to his.
Yeah, wasn't it Leslie Nielsen?
Yes,
Ted
you're
Danson?
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. That had the. Was it E.G. Marshall with the bugs?
Oh, yeah.
Which was my favorite thing, but everybody liked The Crate with Adrienne Barbeau. But when I rewatched that, it was the second worst one of them all.
I think I like the one with Ted Danson.
That's what my daughter's favorite was, the Ted Danson
But
one.
I wasn't that crazy about that movie.
I was. Geordie Verrill with Stephen King getting taken over by the meteor moss.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Creepshow fan.
You're not? It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't hate you.
Not a fan.
You're fine.
It's okay. I haven't seen it in so long, though. I'd probably watch it now and be like, what was I thinking? This is the greatest thing
I
ever.
mean, it is known as one of the best anthologies ever.
Is that the one with Dan Aykroyd, or is that Twilight Zone?
That's Twilight Zone.
I guess
Stick to the road.
Want to see something really scary?
Thanks for the ride, lady. That's it. Okay. We'll move on.
Okay. Can we move on?
Of course, in the 80s, there's always a Friday the 13th. 1982.
Is this part 3?
3D! Which we just talked about. Well, just when this episode comes out, but we talked about it on Final Guys.
The theater I was in went bananas during this movie.
This is where Jason gets his mask, first of all. His hockey mask.
With a lot of obligatory stuff pointed at the...
Just stupid stuff. It's dumb, but it's a fun movie. It gets crapped on a lot. I don't know why.
Listen, the first 3 Friday the 13th movies have a special place in my heart, because that was like the golden years of...
Like the Golden Girls.
Like, I didn't see part 1 in the theater, but then, like, once it happened and you knew it was a thing...
Then you had to go.
Like part 2, 3, and 4, I think, and 5. Like, I saw all in the theater. Then it gets sketchy from there.
I think I saw part 1 in a drive-in with my parents. But then I saw all the others in theaters. I mean, even Jason X. Saw it in the theater.
You saw that in the theater? Wow.
Yep. Isn't it weird how you can remember where you saw a movie? It's so weird. Like, I took my wife, who I think she was my wife at the time. We went to the Central Plaza Theater for a matinee. I think we were the only 2 in there. And we loved it. Loved that movie.
I saw Jaws 3D in Florida.
That's a perfect place to see it. All right. Here's another part 3. Halloween 3. Season of the Witch.
Ah. See, this is another one. You're a big fan of this movie, and I was one of those people that was...
I didn't even know when I put this up here before we started the episode.
I was one of those people that was like, no Michael Myers, what the hell? And then, aside from that, I watched it again recently, and I liked it better, but still, there's just a lot of ridiculous stuff in this movie.
Wait a second. You don't believe that the Irish Celts can create crap with Stonehenge and masks and stuff? What's the matter with you?
This movie's so near and dear to a lot of people, though.
I really like this movie. I mean, that song, Tom Atkins, Pussy Master. I mean, come on.
I wish they had gone the route, though, of just making a new movie every year that was themed under the Halloween banner, but not Michael Myers.
Well, that was the idea, but that was never going to work.
Somebody else should do something like that.
I guess that's like Tales from the Dark Side, right? You could have seen that on TV. Here's one. I appreciate this movie because it is it's a time capsule movie for New York City at a certain period of time.
Let me guess. Is this Basket Case?
This is Basket Case, baby.
Every time we talk about this movie, you talk about grimy Times Square.
That's the Times Square I love. I absolutely despise the way Times Square is now. I remember this Times Square.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I don't know if it was probably a little bit after 82, but it was still in the 80s, like when I was in got to high school, we would go into the city to Madison Square Garden and see wrestling before it was a big thing.
Right.
It was still on Channel 9, yeah. And like you walked by all the peep shows and all that stuff on 42nd Street. It was really seedy.
It was. You could get, well, you went down to Playland to get your fake ID there. And then when you were done with that, you could see a porno movie and like a kung fu movie or something in the theater. Then you could go to a peep show where I felt my first boob. And in retrospect, it was a fake boob because it was harder than a rock. You could get drugs if you wanted. And you could get a hooker. All before you got home. And this at age 13.
So Basket Case is one of those video store classics for me. Because me and my buddy Tom went, pick this up. What's Basket Case? And this was like one of those ones that, like, not even a third way through the movies, we're like, oh my god, what is this? And like it is an instant classic. Belial. Yeah. Oh my god.
You'll never forget Belial.
I need to rewatch this. I only really saw it once or twice.
Really? Oh, it's a great movie. Surprisingly, one I don't own, and I think when we head out to Chiller, I got to buy this. I think it's high time I bought this. I once peed next to the guy who was Belial's brother at what was that one in Connecticut? Connecticut Horror Fest or one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. We were in the bathroom and we were talking, and I was like, "Hey, we're both named Kevin."
He's like,
and he's like, "Who are you?"
Eyes up.
All right, here's another one. And I just watched this. The Slumber Party Massacre. Which you haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it since the 80s.
You are going to love this movie when you see this movie.
I remember watching it, and I have not seen it since.
It is, I will say, all killer, no filler. It's just straight up.
I almost watched this movie last October, and then something happened and I didn't. And so it's been on my...
You got to watch it. It's on Prime or Shudder. I think it's Prime. So you got to watch that. Here's one, and I think we should do an episode on this person who made this movie. Q, The Winged Serpent by Larry Cohen.
Oh, I do Throwback Thursday trailers on our Facebook page, and I think I did this last year. And it's on like Prime now.
Yes.
And I need to rewatch that.
Any movie you see with Larry Cohen directing Michael Moriarty.
Of Return to Salem's Lot fame.
Or infamy, depending on how you want to look at it. I love the creature effects in this movie. It was the throwback to the
like claymation, wasn't it? Or
claymation kind of thing. But Moriarty is just worth it alone just to watch him as a small-time grifter.
And Moriarty was one of those guys that we'd rent something and he'd be like, "Oh, that guy's in it."
Yeah, and it's got a Carradine. Keith or David? Keith Carradine. Keith. That's a great movie. Here we go.
I always think of Q and Wolfen in the same kind of...
Do you?
They were, I think Channel 11 used to show those.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes total sense. Here's one that people love. Pieces.
Oh boy.
That was a forbidden movie.
So that was the one, like, you saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then some horror dude, be like, "Well, you gotta see Pieces."
Yeah.
Then I remember seeing Pieces and being like, "What was that weird piece of crap movie?"
Piece of crap? It's Pieces of Crap.
Is Christopher George in that?
Yes.
That was the saving grace for me and Tom.
I don't think he lived much longer after that. I think that was kind of one of his swan songs. And I think his wife was in it too, or his ex-wife. Susan Day George.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to look it up.
I have not. Have you seen it recently? Because I think I saw it once.
I saw it a couple of years ago.
Is it still crap?
Yeah, sure. But it's fun crap. Now I look at, it's a...
Is there a lot of actual chainsaw murders in that?
No.
Because I feel like it was like...
Yes. Now, here's another one. I love this, and I own this movie. It's back here. Based on a true story. The Entity.
Oh! I was going to say something else, but that must have been earlier.
This movie. This is about a woman who is being habitually raped by a ghost. With the soundtrack, when the raping starts, is this... It's like this, like pounding and sex. It makes your heart.
So it's good date music.
It's wonderful date music.
Some guys use Barry White. I go right to the Entity.
Hey, honey, you want to hear the soundtrack to The Entity?
And I get like the Sharon Stone grinding scene in Basic Instinct.
I do remember being blown away by the depressions of a phantom finger on a boob. So you see the boob being manipulated by...
My God. This is another one. I gotta go back and watch this. I saw that once.
Ron Silver's in it, too.
Ron Silver?
Yeah.
Isn't he in Time Cop?
I believe
See
so.
the bad
I'm not going to question you on that. I'm going to say yes.
This is two guys in a bar talking horror. This is exactly what this podcast
There's
is.
about as much booze on here as a bar. This is a very good movie. It's very creepy. I've studied the case that... Well, studied. It's not like I went to school for this, but I researched this case extensively. And this is... A woman really went through this and was studied scientifically.
Meanwhile, if a guy went through this, he'd be like, this is the greatest thing.
I can't wait to go to bed.
Dan Aykroyd did it in Ghostbusters.
It's a long movie. It's still good. Here's one. I got sued for this movie.
What?
I'll explain this. Humongous. Did
What?
you ever see Humongous?
Tell me what it's about, because I remember the name.
So Humongous has... It's kind of like a... there's a wild person in the woods kind of thing. It's I will tell. The monstrous offspring of a violent crime grows up in a seclusion on a remote island where a boat full of hapless teens have shipwrecked, unaware of what's lurking in the woods.
I'd have to turn it on, and I'd be like watching it and then go, "Oh yeah, this."
Now, I saw this in a drive-in. My parents took us because we went to drive-in. So I remember seeing it. Years later, we rented it. My wife and I, who was my girlfriend at the time, and I returned it and never thought twice about it. And then one day, a processor comes to the door of my parents' house with court papers that I'm being taken to court for not returning the movie, and they were suing me for hundreds of dollars.
Oh my God.
So I will never forget, my parents were eating breakfast, and I answered the door, and I see this thing. And I'm like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I just tore the thing up, and I threw it in the garbage. So I never responded to it. And the video store, I went to that video store continuously for years. So it was weird. But Humongous is the only movie I've ever been sued for not returning.
You are a bold man.
I like Redbox. When I don't return them, they just charge me and then it's over, you know. By the way, what's that that Christmas, all the creatures are stirring?
Oh jeez.
By Rebecca McKendry. I took it from Redbox. I cannot find it, so I ended up paying a lot of money for that. I don't know where it is. I've looked all over. Okay, here is a movie most people do not equate with Wes Craven.
Deadly Friend?
No. I'm going to give you an actress, Adrienne Barbeau.
Swamp Thing.
Yes!
Swamp Thing 2 or 1?
1. 2 was Heather Locklear.
Locklear.
We all wanted to see 1 because he said, oh, we're going to get to see her boobs. But then we were treated to a great movie. Not great.
It's okay. Totally forgot that was Wes Craven.
It could be better. There was a movie called The Incubus that...
I watched that recently.
Didn't you watch it with me?
Yeah.
Because I bought
Bruce
that.
Dickinson from Iron Maiden's in that.
Yes, I bought that from, I think, Severin. I think I got that from.
That movie is effed up.
It's so...
Watch The Incubus.
It's dumb.
It's dumb, but it's just... It's out there.
How about this one? The Xtro.
Oh, Xtro, yeah.
That was the one that had the cover of like the alien with his big ugly face, and there was like a kid in front of it.
Yeah, I can't even remember what actually happens in that movie, but that was everywhere.
That was one of those ones when you saw it in the video store, you had to buy. Not buy it, you had to rent it because it looked so cool.
I think we rented it or saw it on HBO like once.
All right, I'm going to go back a little bit because we're already running out of gas in 1982, by the way, for the big ones. Hold on. Yes. Oh, this was Dario Argento. I'm no fan of Dario Argento. I'm never going to bow down.
It's not Suspiria, is it?
This is one that actually made sense.
Is it Inferno or
Tenebrae?
Oh, I never saw this one.
You never saw Tenebrae? I will tell you, if you're Argento reluctant.
There's a lot of bad Italian horror movies back then.
It's a nice giallo kind of
Gelato.
gelato.
I like vanilla or with a little caramel.
This is a good movie. So if you're going to,
Is this one of the mothers?
no, there's no mothers here, but it's a cool movie. Oh, there's another one, Amityville 2: The Possession, with Burt Young.
I don't remember anything about this movie.
You don't remember that one? Oh.
No, I'm not a big Amityville sequel person.
Many people say Part 2 is the best of the bunch.
But many people are on crack.
When I say the bunch, I mean like 14 or 15. There has been a new Amityville movie that's come out every year for the last like 8 years. It's nonstop. It can't be stopped.
And I have not seen most of them.
For a good reason. Here's one. Did you see Cat People with Natasha Kinski?
Oh, yeah. Is Malcolm McDowell in that?
I do believe he is.
That was a big controversy because he was very
Yes.
sexy.
And John Hurd, Annette O'Toole.
Is there incest in that?
It's a Kinski movie. Isn't there always incest in a Kinski
It's a very
movie?
racy movie, I remember. actually don't remember much about it. But I remember the hype around it more than... Then I watched it and I was like, whatever.
I know. It's nothing like the old Cat People movie, the black and white movie. Nothing like that. Here, I don't know if you saw this one.
This was around the time, though, between this and, like, The Howling, where they're really getting into, like, animal people sex.
Yes. Here, this is going to be the last one. We're going to close out with this one. Forbidden World, which is not Forbidden Planet. In the distant future, a Federation marshal arrives at a research lab on a remote planet where a genetic experiment has gotten loose and begins feeding on the dwindling scientific group. I remember really liking this movie.
I don't even remember this movie.
I always confuse this. There's a movie with Joni from Happy
Aaron
Days,
Moran.
and I think that was Creature. And I
think I
confuse it
saw
with this
that.
movie. Yes. But this is the other one. This is with June Chadwick,
I don't remember this one at all.
Michael Bowen.
These names aren't even me.
I kind of remember this movie, but not really. I just remember being excited by it because it was sci-fi.
I remember Visiting Hours.
Visiting Hours, The Beast Within. Remember The Beast Within?
I remember the name of it.
That's another movie I kind of like to own. Philip Mora, who I think, am I right that he did Communion? I'm going to check right now. I'm going to the old Google.
Google it just a little bit.
Because Communion has a special place in my heart.
Is Communion the UFO movie?
Yes, with Christopher Walken as Whitley Strieber. He did Communion. Yes, I was right. Oh, I love it when I'm right. So look, 1982 has some solid movies. You've got The Thing. Well, not for you.
That's
Creepshow.
actually a good time capsule of the 80s because you had some gold, some
Silver.
and some crap. And some brown.
We're bypassing bronze to crap.
To brown.
But you had The Thing, you had Poltergeist. Whether you like it or not, you had Creepshow.
I like Creepshow. I give it its place. It just, for me, I watched it like once or twice. And
Halloween
it's like on
3,
HBO and I'd be like, watch it.
and Basket Case, and you have a bunch of others. So, 82 was solid.
Solid year.
Absolutely solid
Again,
year.
this is foundational in our lives.
And I'm guaranteed out of all of these, the only two that made any money at the time were Poltergeist and Creepshow.
Doesn't it occur to you, though, like, we saw Basket Case not long after it was made, and it looked old then.
Well, it looked like something someone found out of the gutter.
Yeah.
It's just, the quality is so terrible, but that's what makes it wonderful.
This is just fun because it's placing these movies. There's a whole bunch of movies that if you had made me guess what came out this year, I would have guessed that clearly I would have been wrong. So,
But you did get a lot of my clues.
yeah, that's fun.
Where I think if we did vice versa, I'm so brain dead I'd get none of them. So this is, I think, the computer should be in this direction, and then I throw it out
We'd be
there.
really good at the $25,000 pyramid.
I think we'd be good at the newlywed game. So thanks to all of you who suggested 1982. That was a solid year. So that was cool.
Good year.
What's your favorite? I will also say, how about this? I have these little I'm a Hellion stickers. If you like this episode and you'd like one of these stickers, email me at huntershay1@gmail.com and I will send this to you as long as you live in the United States. If you live in frickin' Canada or frickin' Ireland or Nova Scotia, whatever.
We're not playing
that
the
is
postage
Canada.
game.
We're not doing that. But if you live in the U.S. and I can stick one postage stamp, I will give you one of these. Or maybe one day I'll give you a button too. who knows? So, like the show and send us some emails.
And we'll see you next time on
Monster Man.
Monster, Monster Man, Monster.